Welcome back to Actual English, everyone. I am Jennifer Clyde. It's time for lesson 361, and let's begin a brand new topic and focus on mental health. Mental health, that is. Part 1. Today, let's begin with post-holiday depression. What does post-holiday depression mean? We know what holiday means. We know what depression means, but post-holiday? We're talking about the kind of depression that comes after the holidays. Now, as you see, post-holiday, P-O-S-T, means coming after something. Okay, after. Now, coming before something would be what? Pre, P-R-E. So as long as you know what these prefixes mean, it's easier to understand. So we're talking about post-holiday depression, depression that often hits you after the festive holidays, okay? So if you're ready, let's begin with actual talk.
So the holidays are done. Things have quieted down. How are you feeling?
It just all feels a little bit strange, doesn't it, after the holidays?
Yeah.
Especially Christmas and New Year. I think that's one of the biggest family times of the year. And it's because it's two events in 1 week, so to speak, it's a really long vacation.
And in America, 1 month before you have Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow, yeah, so it's a real
boom, boom, boom.
Boom, 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 yeah. It can feel quite lonely, actually, I find.
I found myself, like, I have to consciously be like, okay, I'm excited. I get to spend some time alone, you know, because after that, like, absence of that buzz, it can feel a bit lonely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are searching for that next thing, and because there isn't anything really to look forward to in the calendar for a few months, people can get quite depressed with it.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of looking at it positively and saying, well, it's a little bit of alone time for me.
Like read a book or, you know, have some quiet time.
Yeah, indulge in myself rather than thinking about everyone else.
But I mean, I think it can be a very lonely time for people. I've heard that suicide rates are higher after the holidays. There's a lot of pressure during the holidays to spend money.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. So financial pressure, like when you look at it afterwards and you look at your bank statement.
Yeah.
It's the worst time of the year, especially Christmas.
And then there could be like holiday weight gain. And I don't know, it can be a kind of lonely, sad time, but it can also be kind of recovery, good nurturing time for yourself if you make it that.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more.
Now, as we start a brand new week with a brand new topic, we've got Martin and Mary joining us. Now, these two are talking about today's topic, post-holiday depression. And they've mentioned some wonderful things. So let's take a look at what they've mentioned. So the holidays are done and things have quieted down, says Mary. Holidays are done. Holidays are finished. Well, we're done with the holidays. We're saying that the holidays, they're in the past. Okay? They're in the past. No holidays to look forward to. Not anytime soon, but the Christmas holidays. There was Thanksgiving in America, for example. There was New Year's and New Year's Eve, you know, those holidays. Well, they are all done. And things have quieted down. To quiet down means what? It means to become quiet, less noisy, to get or become very calm. So, yeah, she's made a good point. Since the holidays are over, the holidays are done, things seem to be a lot calmer these days, right? A lot quieter, calmer, relaxed, not as crazy and festive and exciting, but it's very quiet. So things have quieted down. And she asks, how are you feeling? Martin says, it all feels a little bit strange, doesn't it? After the holidays, especially Christmas and New Year. It feels strange, doesn't it? He says. I think that's one of the biggest family times of the year. Okay, he's mentioned what Christmas and New Year. So he's referring to these holidays, holiday season, okay? This holiday season, okay, Christmas and New Year, the holiday season is one of the biggest family times of the year, meaning that around this time of the year, around these holidays, these holiday seasons, family get together. Family members all get together to spend time together. And because it's 2 events in 1 week, okay, 2 events in 1 week, so to speak, he says, it's a really long vacation. It's a long holiday, long vacation. So when you say so to speak, you're saying that even though you don't use the exact words, the most accurate words, it's very similar to as you might say, okay? All right, similar to something, okay? Now, so he says 2 events in 1 week, maybe not exactly two events in 1 week, but something like that, okay? So to speak, it's a really long vacation. Now, here we go. Mary says, and in America, 1 month before, you have Thanksgiving. That's right. 1 month before, that's true. So this is in November, right? Perhaps towards the end of November, there's Thanksgiving. And then towards the end of December, there's Christmas and New Year's and New Year's Eve. So she's saying 1 month before Christmas and New Year's and New Year's Eve, there's Thanksgiving. So it's like boom, 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 she says. Okay. Boom is what? What's boom? Boom is the sound that we make to express a loud noise. For example, you can say, I witnessed a car accident and boom, they crashed into each other. Okay, boom. We often say boom to express a certain sound, a loud sound or noise. But when you say boom, 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 like this, you're saying something happens one after the other. Okay? For example, he hit his desk several times. Boom, boom, boom. You're saying he hit his desk. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Consecutively. Or we're saying 1 month before you have Thanksgiving. So she's saying boom, Thanksgiving, Christmas, boom, and New Year's. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. These 3 holidays come. And he says, yep, boom, boom, boom. It can feel quite lonely, actually, I find. So he's saying that it can feel lonely afterwards. Now, Mary says, I have to consciously be like, okay, I'm excited I get to spend some time alone. She's saying that she thinks to herself, okay, I'm excited, I'm happy that I get to spend some time alone. Okay, she's hypnotizing herself. She has to consciously be like, she has to consciously think, okay, I'm excited, I'm excited. When you say consciously, you're saying that you're doing something intentionally. You are aware of what is happening. So it means you're doing it purposely. I have to purposely think. I have to intentionally think. I have to consciously say to myself, hey, I'm excited that I have to spend time alone. Because after that absence of that buzz, now this is that feeling of that enthusiasm, excitement, okay, all the craziness. After all of that is over, it can feel a bit lonely. That's why she has to consciously, okay, talk to herself, tell herself that it's okay, that she is excited. Martin says, I think a lot of people are searching for that next thing. Next thing? Because there isn't anything to look forward to in the calendar for a few months. So he's saying a lot of people are searching, are looking for the next thing. Next thing, he's not specifying exactly what, but he's saying, yeah, after those holidays, people are feeling lonely. People are looking for, they're searching for, they're trying to find a new thing or a next thing, something exciting, because there isn't anything to look forward to in the calendar for a few months. So in the next, couple months, let's say, well, there's Valentine's Day in February. That's something to look forward to. But except for Valentine's Day, there's really nothing in March. Is there something in April? So that's what he's saying. There's nothing special in the calendar. No special holiday in the coming months or the months to come. So people can get quite depressed with it, depressed with that thought. But I like the idea of looking at it positively. He likes the idea of thinking positively, looking on the bright side, and saying or thinking to oneself, well, it's a little bit of alone time for me. So this is what he tries to think to himself or tell himself to make himself feel better, okay? So around this time of the year, okay, if he feels lonely, depressed, maybe a bit sad, he tries to, look on the bright side. He tries to think positively by telling himself, okay, it's a little bit of alone time for me, time that I get to spend by myself. Mary says, yeah, read a book or have some quiet time, have some time to yourself. And of course, Martin says, indulge in myself rather than thinking about everyone else. So indulge in something. We've gone over this several times in the past. You can indulge in an activity, for example. You can indulge in a certain type of food or drink. It can be anything. But indulge in something means to really take pleasure in doing something, really enjoy doing something. All right? So he's saying, yeah, indulge in myself, which means to kind of focus on oneself, okay, and not think about other people or other things. So one more time, indulge in myself rather than or instead of thinking about everybody else. Focus on myself. Mary says, but I think it can be a very lonely time for people. Yes, it could be. And she tells us about suicide rates. I've heard that suicide rates, okay, are higher after the holidays. So suicide rates tend to go up, okay? They go uphill. They rise. So suicide rates are higher after the holidays, which means that people tend to commit suicide, especially after the holidays. Many more people tend to do that. There's a lot of pressure during the holidays. What kind of pressure? To spend money. So this could be a reason, okay? So because of that pressure during the holidays to spend money, people may commit suicide. Martin says, yeah, it's a huge thing. It's a big thing. It's a serious thing. It's a big problem. The financial pressure, okay? Financial pressure meaning pressure related to money, of course, okay? Money pressure, money problems. When you look at it afterwards and you look at your bank statement, we're talking about the bill that we get. You know, the money we have to pay, okay? So we get our bank statements. Say, for example, you use your credit card. You get an invoice, charge, a bill. You get a bank statement, which is like a document telling you how much you owe the bank or your credit card company. So after everything, you look at your bank statement. It's the worst time of the year. Not bad, not worse, but the worst. 최악, right? The worst time of the year, especially Christmas. Okay. We're talking about the damage from Christmas because a lot of people tend to spend lots of money on Christmas gifts for many, many people. So yes, especially after Christmas, people look at their bank statements and say, oh, I spent this much money. Oh no, what am I going to do for the next couple of months? So people get depressed and they feel financial pressure. This is what he's talking about. And Mary says, and then there could be holiday weight gain. Holiday weight gain. The extra kilos, the extra pounds we put on after the holidays. Why? Because during the holidays, there's so much good food. You know, you celebrate, you eat, you drink. So what happens? You gain weight. We call that holiday weight gain, okay? The weight that you gain during the holidays. Holiday weight gain. So yeah, that's a problem. It can be a kind of lonely, sad time, but it can also be kind of a recovery, good nurturing time for yourself if you make it that. Recovery means what? Okay, you can recover from an illness. Okay, you can recover from depression even. It basically means to, become in a better state, feel better, for example, health-wise, okay? So recover, it means to get better from something, to recover from an illness, for example. So although it can be lonely, it can be a sad time, it also can be a recovery or a good nurturing time for yourself if you make it that. If you make it that, meaning if you think that, okay? You know, people often say if you think positive, things will happen positively. If you only think negatively and focus on the bad things, then things will go bad. So she's saying, you know, if you look for the bad things, then it could be a lonely and sad time. But if you look on the bright side, it could be a very good recovery time. It could be a good nurturing time for you. And of course, Martin agrees by saying definitely couldn't agree more. You could also say couldn't agree with you more. Basically saying I agree with you completely, okay? And they bring us to an end to that conversation. So normally if you return to the normal state of your health, your mind, your mental health, for example, or physical health, we say you recover. So yes, I think if you have a positive mindset, sure, why not? It could be a recovery time. A very good nurturing time for you and I, for every one of us. Okay, let's take a listen one more time.
So the holidays are done. Things have quieted down. How are you feeling?
It just all feels a little bit strange, doesn't it, after the holidays?
Yeah.
Especially Christmas and New Year. I think that's one of the biggest family times of the year. And it's because it's two events in 1 week, so to speak, it's a really long vacation.
And in America, 1 month before you have Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow, yeah, so it's a real...
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, 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 yeah. It can feel quite lonely, actually, I find.
I found myself, like, I have to consciously be like, okay, I'm excited. I get to spend some time alone, you know, because after that, like, absence of that buzz, it can feel a bit lonely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are searching for that next thing, and because there isn't anything really to look forward to in the calendar for a few months, people can get quite depressed with it.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of looking at it positively and saying, well, it's a little bit of alone time for me.
Like read a book or, you know, have some quiet time.
Yeah, indulge in myself rather than thinking about everyone else.
But I mean, I think it can be a very lonely time for people. I've heard that suicide rates are higher after the holidays. There's a lot of pressure during the holidays to spend money.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. So financial pressure, like when you look at it afterwards and you look at your bank statement. It's the worst time of the year, especially Christmas.
And then there could be like holiday weight gain. And I don't know, it can be a kind of lonely, sad time, but it can also be a kind of recovery, good nurturing time for yourself if you make it that.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more.
In today's actual talk, we had some great vocab words and some wonderful expressions to study. So let's go over a few of them. I've selected a few for you. Consciously is a good one worth going over. So let's take a look at the pronunciation first. Consciously. Stress goes right there on the first syllable. Let's try it 2 times together. Consciously. Consciously. It means deliberately, intentionally. You know what's happening, okay? Knowingly, for example. So knowingly, deliberately, intentionally, consciously. They all mean the same. What about buzz? Okay, a bee buzzes. But here we're talking about buzz as in a noun. We're talking about that eagerness, anticipation, delight. We're talking about that feeling of intense enthusiasm and excitement. Okay? All right, moving on. Statement. We talked about bank statements, receiving bank statements, and them depressing you. So statement, stress goes there. A statement is very similar to a bill, charge, or an invoice. Okay? Recovery. We're talking about to return to a normal state of health or physical health or even mental health. Okay? Recuperation. Convalescence is a difficult word, but you might want to keep that word in mind as well. Okay, recovery. Okay, now moving on to our first pattern for today. Quiet down. You can tell somebody, hey, quiet down, but you can express that something or a feeling or an atmosphere has quieted down. It means to become very calm, to become less noisy, not as excited. Okay? It's very difficult to quiet down my dogs whenever a delivery person comes. So we're saying it's very difficult to make my dogs become calm. It's very difficult to calm my dogs down, to make them be quiet. Whenever a delivery person comes. Got it? Quiet down means to make less noisy, to calm down. So to speak, this is an expression you would usually use in a situation where you have expressed something in a very unusual way. Okay, as one might say, especially when you're not exactly using the most accurate words. So here is a sample sentence. She would do anything for her dog, Carly. She's her baby, so to speak. Okay. Let's take a look. This is a description of my mother, actually. Carly is our dog. We have a retriever, and my mom loves her to death. So yeah, she would do anything for her dog, Carly. There's a slight exaggeration, and then we say she's her baby, so to speak. Now, a dog cannot be a person's baby, so we're not using the exact words, but as one might say, if we express something in a kind of unusual way, you can say, so to speak. So she's kind of like her baby, so to speak. Got it? Okay. Moving on to indulge in something. Indulge in something means to what? Enjoy doing something. Okay, find pleasure doing something. I love to indulge in a good cheesecake after dinner. I love to indulge in a good cheesecake after dinner. So we're talking about taking pleasure in doing something, really enjoy doing something. Means I love to enjoy, eat a good cheesecake after dinner. Okay, so please do practice these patterns and vocab words more on your own, everyone. Job well done.